Hi again, everybody. It's Wednesday, September 13th. Here's my chart, the Vedic rainbow from yesterday. There were two key timing windows. The bright green here on the C1 and the white window on the C1 line as well. So I want to clear up a little bit of confusion. The indicator can be used in different ways, but I've explained in the past on many videos how I set these timing lines using these windows. So you can see the blue vertical lines on the price part of the chart are my timing indications that were set up for yesterday and then again for this morning. Now, the primary key here is when we come to one of these windows, let's look at the bright green window here, started at midnight on the 12th. We want to take a look at the price range of the prior window, which was the dark green window. So I've marked that out with this red rectangle on the price bars. So I've marked the high and low in that time period here of that dark green window, and I've also marked the width of the window in time on the price chart here. So what we're looking for as we get into the bright green window here, we're looking for the market to make a higher high or a lower low than the price action in that window. So as we move into the trading period, I generally look at it from 2 or 3 a.m. Eastern time onward. So our first trigger point in that, after we hit that time, was at this blue line right here. Now we did make a low there and we had a tradable setup, but we did not make a higher high or lower low outside that prior price action in the dark green window. So this would be considered to be a scalp opportunity, and that went up about 7 points. And then at the next timeline, notice how both of these were also in the B2 window. In that, at the next timeline, we challenged that support area, but again, we did not make a new low there. So it was just another scalp opportunity, not a primary setup. Then as we got to the next timing line here, which was about 9:26, we did finally make a lower low outside that window, and that triggered a 13-point move up, which is more of what we're looking for. Generally, when we make these new highs or lows, we're looking to get that move of 10 to 40 points out of those particular setups. So this move went 13 points. And then we traded down and made a new low right at the end of that window, which happens all the time. Notice how at the beginning of the window, we made a high. At the end of the window, we made a new low. And then we got a 32-point move off of that new low of the day, which came a little bit after 11 a.m. yesterday. So the two key trades yesterday of what I would call prime trades were this one and this one, where we made new lows outside of the prior window. Now this point here, we made a new low here. It was the low of the day at the time, just before the day session opened. Doesn't mean we won't make a lower low. It just means we're going to get a tradable move at that point in time with that time indication. And then when we made the new low, we got an even better move and got another prime setup. So we had two prime setups in that bright green window and two scalp setups. So then we had another opportunity with this white window forming late in the day at about 3:30. So again, in this dark green window in front of the white window here, I marked out the price range, the highest high and the lowest low in that time period of that green window. So now as we move into this white window, we're looking for a higher high or a lower low outside of that frame. Well, what happened? We got a slightly lower low here, but it was out of the time where I'm looking for a trade, because it was at night about 2230, 2300, and that's generally an area where there's not a lot of activity. You can see we did get a stop the downtrend, then we went into a long sideways period before the move up. But then as we got into the area here earlier this morning, after 2 a.m., we had this alignment here of the white window, and we made a lower low right here, and that triggered a prime trade setup moving from here up, and that was 15 points, whatever that was in there. So now that window has ended. So those were the key indications over the last 36 hours or so of what those timelines could do and how they should be handled in the context of making a new high or new low outside of that prior window. Okay, so I hope that clears things up for some, because there was a little bit of confusion on that. If you have the material, I suggest you go back and reread that, or go back and look at all the videos that I've done on the Vedic timing windows, and then you'll be able to see the power of these tools.